Okay, in this video I want to talk about avoiding getting flagged on Craigslist. There'll be two methods that we'll be working on today. The first one is to avoid getting flagged by competition, whether that be one person or several people in your city. The second one will be how to avoid being flagged by the robot on Craigslist, where they automatically flag your ad if they see a duplicate. First one is the most important because it's the most difficult to avoid. What will happen is you might have competition in your whatever you're trying to sell, or whatever service you're trying to offer. Whether it be lawn care or moving or car mechanics or what have you, or if you're trying to sell a product, whether it be cell phones, electronics, computers, cars, jewelry, you name it. You'll have competition. It could be one person. It could be literally as many as 20 or 30. What they'll do is they'll sit there and they'll watch the ads. It only takes 3-4 flags at the beginning, and they'll sit there and they'll watch your ad to see it coming up, and boom. And some people have like automatic, software. They'll have a method where one person can flag your ad 10 times, and boom, it'll boot you out. It's very frustrating. I've been selling on Craigslist for 8 years, and I've had a lot of good luck, but I've had I've had a lot of competition that'll flag me, and it's not because I'm abusing the system. It could literally be a new product, but it's a product that's competing with their product. So it's very, very, very frustrating. And this method I call the Craigslist Trojan Horse. If you're familiar with the Trojan Horse, it's a tale on the Iliad and the Odyssey, and that ring, by the way, is from my computer. It's not yours, so just ignore it. But it's called the Craigslist Trojan Horse, and if you're familiar with the tale of the Trojan Horse, what happens is Greece couldn't get into Troy, into their fortified castle, and so they act like that they were fleeing by boat, but they left this wooden Trojan horse, huge model. And what they were actually doing, the soldiers actually hid in that Trojan horse, and then when Troy brought the horse into their castle, they thought it was something that they had won. At nighttime, the Greeks came out of the horse, and of course attacked the Trojans, and won. So this method on Craigslist is the same concept. You're basically putting an ad in there, and 30 minutes later to an hour after it gets under the disguises and your competition doesn't see it anymore, you put the real ad on. So I'll show you an example here. As you can see here, here's a typical account for Craigslist. As you can see, this person here has got several items flagged, and he's got in the rant and rave section. But again, put whatever your category is that you're trying to offer or sell. And so what happens is what you're going to do is you're going to place an ad. So we'll go here. We're in Albany, New York, and let's say that I sell BMX bikes, and used BMX bikes, and I might post 4 or 5 a day. This is my thing. So we'll go ahead in here, and we'll post, and we'll go for sale by owner. We'll put bicycles. Alright. So normally I would put, let's say I have a 2010 BMX bike, and I got a great price on it, $100. I'm in Albany, New York, and put the zip code in here. Okay, and then we'll say I have a bike, blah blah blah, right? That's my information on there. And then what happens is is my competition, they'll see the title as soon as it comes up on the new listings for bikes. What they're going to see here is 2010 BMX bike, and they're going to see, oh no, it's $100, and they're going to say, well, I got BMX bikes and I can't sell them, but I need to get 200 for them because I've paid a lot more for them, and this guy's going to take all my business. Someone's going to buy from this person instead of from me. So what they'll do is they'll immediately, go and they'll flag the ad, and I'll show you here what they'll do. So we'll go down here to bikes, and we'll say by owner, right? And so let's say I go down here and I see a Huffy Coca-Cola bike. Well, what they'll do is you'll see here where it says prohibited. They'll go ahead and click it, and then it'll be flagged for removal. So they'll have a software, or they'll be able to do it. They might have several browsers open, and what they'll do is they'll continue to flag it, and before your chance for your ad to even get seen it'll be flagged for removal, and you'll get a page where it'll have all those pink flags on it. Alright, so what you're going to do is, let's say you've put this ad out here 3 or 4 times and it keeps getting flagged. This is what you do instead. Make up something. Say 1997 old dirt bike. It could be anything, alright? And put on here $800. That's non-threatening to your competition, right? So you put 1997 old dirt bike, and then you go ahead and post it, alright? And then you go continue, and then you post it. So let's say you got your ad posted, and now you have your 1997 old dirt bike that you don't own up there. Well, what happens is it goes under the disguise, and this is why I call it the Trojan horse. It's because now your competition doesn't see it as a threat. So what will happen is 10 minutes will go by, 20 minutes go by. Then you go back into your ad, and what you do is you just go back to your account and go to this ad where it says 97 old dirt bike, and then you edit it, which is easy to do. You edit, and then you go back in, and then you go 2010 BMX bike, and you change the price to what you need it to be, and then put all your wording in. Well, as we discussed, what's that done is your competition sees it as non-threatening, and as a matter of fact, if their page most likely will still show 1997 dirt bike, it won't show 2010 BMX bike, and it'll be so below their radar because these people, that's all they do is they scavenge the ad, and they're not going to go back 2 pages. They're not going to go back 1 page. So you're all set. And if they see it, if for whatever reason they do go back and see it, they're not going to flag it because they're going to say, oh, I've already flagged that ad. And the good thing about it is your potential buyers or your potential service people, they'll see it, and they'll look 2-3 ads, down the road. And that has worked for me every single time that I've done it. I've not had one time where it's been flagged. It's been a successful method every single time. So if you have any questions, put it in the comment section. Now, if you have a question about being flagged by Craigslist, that's a lot easier to get past. All right, here's another ad here that I've got on here. I will help you move for less than $200. Let's say if you got a delivery company or you're independent. All right. As you can see here, what will happen is if you try to put this same posting on Craigslist several times in a day or in a week, it's going to flag it. So as you can see here, I got bullet points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then below it, I'll put several random city names that's close to my area. It could be street names, it could be, even restaurants or whatever. that'll come up in the search area. That's not the reason I do it, because it comes out in the search, because it'll give me variation with my ad. So what I'll do is once I've posted, and let's say I want to create a new ad with this exact same information, what you do is you cut and paste different parts of it. So I'll cut that, let's say, and then I'll put it below. So it looks like a completely different ad. And then down here with the cities and stuff, I'll do the same thing to change the order of the city names. Right? And then that looks like a fresh new ad to Craigslist. You keep the same title, you can keep the same city and zip code. But that's going to look like a fresh new ad to Craigslist, and it won't get flagged as easily. Now that's, of course, if your competition doesn't flag it. That's a different story. And but that's one way to prevent the robots from flagging, and I've been doing that for 5 or 6 years, and it's been completely successful. Back on the topic with the competition, I saw one method on YouTube where what they would do is the person would click their own ad several times before it was even seen by the public. And what their theory is on that is if it's seen several times, then and not being flagged, then Craigslist approves it. But I've tried that, and I have gotten flagged even if I've clicked on my ad 20 times before being seen with the public. So I don't think that method works, because a lot of these people who are flagging, they must have software where it flags the ad 30 or 40 times. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know.